Hi guys, Irina here. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, let's talk about the Google Pixel Buds Pro 2. It's been some time since the launch of these earbuds, but I'm glad I'm making this review now and not right after the launch since, well, I just had more time to use these earbuds. So if you're thinking about getting these, I think this video will be helpful. I'm gonna tell you right away, I've never been a fan of the Pixel Buds. Not because I didn't like the audio quality or anything, but because they simply didn't fit well in my ears. They would always fall out. So despite all the advantages of the Pixel Buds, I could never use them on a daily basis because it was just uncomfortable. But these new Pixel Buds Pro 2 are different and I love them. A few words about looks and design. My Pixel Buds are in the porcelain color. They also come in hazel, wintergreen, and peony. In person, the porcelain finish looks like cream or slightly beige color, even though in some photos and videos it appears white. The case looks pretty much the same as on the previous models in terms of materials and colors, and I like that it's matte and not glossy because the glossy one is just a magnet for dust, fingerprints, and dirt. Look at this AirPods Pro case. But on the other hand, I've noticed that if there's some dirt stuck on the Pixel Buds case, it's harder to clean it off from this matte surface than from the glossy one of the AirPods Pro case. So yeah, there are always some pros and cons. Well, you could always get a protective case and forget about it. And speaking of what's new in the case design, there is now a small built-in speaker that helps you locate it using the Find Hub. Now let's talk about the fit. As I already mentioned, these earbuds are so different from all the previous Pixel Buds. Google has finally improved the shape of the earbuds. They're now smaller and more lightweight. I have the original Pixel Buds here, not Pro. These are the very first wireless earbuds Google created, and the shape has been gradually changing with each new Pixel Buds model, but it never was that slim. These feel noticeably heavier. Well, no wonder they kept falling out of my ears. So the new Pixel Buds Pro 2 are so good and comfortable. I could wear them for hours. Also, most importantly, my ears don't hurt after wearing these. But of course, guys, keep in mind that this is very subjective since we all have different ears. Honestly, when I just got my Pixel Buds Pro 2, my expectations were so low because I've tried all the previous Pixel Buds models and I knew that, yeah, they're great in terms of sound quality and features, but the fit? So when I just started using these, I was like, wow. Now we're talking. I could finally start using the Pixel Buds. Let's move on to the audio quality. I'd say the audio quality has always been very decent on the Pixel Buds since the very first model. No complaints here. Of course, we're not talking about professional headphones for musicians here, but I think for a regular user, the sound quality would be more than just satisfactory. In the settings, you get the equalizer, so you could always slightly adjust the sound the way you like. And let's do a quick test and see how these earbuds sound when you record a voice message or speak on the phone. Okay, so now I'm using the Google Pixel Buds Pro 2 to record this audio. What do you think, guys? I'll let you know what I think in a second. Not bad, honestly. I think even the best earbuds on the market today are not there yet in terms of mics they have. They lack clarity, the sound is always slightly muffled when you're on a call. My friends use different brands of earbuds, AirPods, OnePlus Buds, Samsung Galaxy Buds. Every time they use their earbuds on a call or send me voice messages, the sound quality kinda sucks. Moving on to features. There is a lot, but at the same time, I would say the Pixel Buds Pro 2 have pretty much the same features as any high-tier earbuds have these days. So basically, you have the same base touch controls on each earbud to play and pause, change the volume, skip to the next or previous track, answer or reject a call, and you have the press and hold command, which you can reprogram for each earbud. You can use it to activate Google Assistant or toggle the active noise control. Speaking of the noise cancellation feature, I have to admit, in the past, I never appreciated it enough since I work from home in my relatively quiet New York apartment, so I didn't really have the need to use it much. Of course, I've tried this feature outdoors with the city noise and on a plane, and it worked great, but now I have a 2-year-old toddler running around me, and I like that I could switch to transparency mode while listening to a podcast and still be present and hear all the sounds around me, which is obviously very important when you're watching your kid, but also I could enable the ANC and listen to my favorite music with no cartoon sounds in it while I'm sitting next to my daughter. That's pretty amazing. And by the way, you could pick yourself which modes you want to have and switch between. Speaking of other features, it has the spatial audio, making the listening experience more immersive. It has the head tracking feature. When it's on, you can hear how the sound changes depending on your head movement. It's like when you're turning away from the sound source, you can hear how the sound gets more pronounced in the ear that is closer to the source. Another feature is the conversation detection. When you're speaking, the earbuds automatically switch between the ANC and transparency mode for you to hear the person you're talking to. Honestly, this feature has never grown on me because it works with a slight delay, so to me it makes more sense to just pause whatever I'm listening to and talk to a person. Also, when I start singing to a song, the earbuds think I start talking, so the music stops playing for a few seconds because the earbuds are switching to the transparency mode, and it's such a bummer. So yeah, not a big fan of this feature. Having an option to use Google Assistant is great. It's really helpful when you don't have your phone with you, just your Pixel Buds. There have been many situations when I've used Google Assistant on my Pixel Buds. It's super helpful. Love this feature. Now let's talk about battery life. Google claims that you can get up to 8 hours of playback on a single charge with ANC and 12 hours when ANC is off. And you can get up to 30 hours and 48 hours respectively with the case. So basically you can charge your earbuds 4 times from the case. The battery life is pretty good. I barely have to think about charging these earbuds, but of course it will depend on how long you use your Pixel Buds each day. When it comes to charging your Pixel Buds Pro 2, I love that you have a few options. You could use a cable, you could use a wireless charger, and finally you could use the reverse wireless charging on your Pixel if it supports it. Most of the time I use the conservative way, and it takes about 2.5 hours to fully charge the case and the earbuds from 0% to 100. And if you need to charge your Pixel Buds from the case, it will take about 50 minutes. The Pixel Buds Pro 2 have an IP54 rating, making them resistant to dust and splashes, and the charging case is also splash resistant. You can get the Pixel Buds Pro 2 for $229, which is in the same price range as most high-tier earbuds like AirPods Pro 2 and the Galaxy Buds 3 Pro. They're all between $200 and $250. I've had nothing but a pleasant experience with the Pixel Buds Pro 2, except maybe for one tiny thing. It took me so long to learn how to put these earbuds back in the case. It was very confusing, especially in the beginning, but other than that, I love these earbuds. That's all for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.